Hello. Hi. So it's been a week or maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks since I've seen you guys last. How is everybody? Are we getting through our holiday rush okay? I know I'm getting a little exhausted. I've had so much going on this last week, and I think I'm just kind of getting out a little exhausted of making gifts. I have made, I don't know, for 15 people so far. That's just my immediate family. How many are you guys doing this year? Like I told you guys, I did start knitting, and I knitted some of my gifts, and they seem to, they take a lot longer because I'm learning how. So I did mix in some crochet, especially for the grandbabies. Yeah. So what did you think of that opening? I was just showcasing some of my finished products that I showed you guys last week. This is not where they're going to end up being. This is in my craft room, so it will go out on the table, and we have a long hallway. So I have a really thin table, and I have some other products to go on it. But these are the trees that I showed you. I did make this one a little bit smaller, and I'll have them linked again. So isn't he cute? So I did get him stuffed. So they did have him in the original pattern. They had a dowel, which kind of made them different heights. But I kind of like the idea that they can just kind of sit on the table because they're nice and chunky. Here's the other size. You remember I told you guys that I ran out of yarn, but I thought I got one that was the same color. As you can see, it's not, but that's okay. Because here you can see the two different colors. If I flip it over, it just looks like a halo around the other color. So I don't mind that at all. What do you guys think? It's funny how when you're trying to match up a color, they look, I mean, you can put them right on top of each other and they look like they match, and then you put them and actually use them, and there's such a huge difference in them. Okay, so those were the trees, the Christmas trees that I made. Let me see who I got those from. So last week when I showed the trees to you, in progress, I posted the wrong link to the wrong YouTube channel. The ones that I posted were really cute as well, but they are not the ones that I did. So this week I'll have them posted for you. This is from, it's a DIY Crochet Christmas tree decor, and I'll post that link for you. It's a free video. So one I did not show you that I worked on was another one. I have an Addy machine. I have Addy and Sorrento. They're the crank machines that you can do flat panel knit, and you can do in the tube. So this is one of the ones that she had. So it does say joy. I guess it's reversed, isn't it? So she had one, and it's the YouTube channel has, it says joy. The second one says to the, and then the world. So I only did joy. There's a couple of things on the pattern that I didn't care for, but if I decide to do the rest of them, I will do those changes, and then I'll post it and show you guys what I've done. So this is from a YouTube channel, and it's called Koala Knits and Knacks, and she's fairly new. She does Addy Sorrento knitting and crochet. I just think that's so cute. This is the knit, and then I've never done this either. This is what do you call that when you outline it? Okay, I can't think of the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. All these things that are on the top are done after the knitting, and then put out there. I'll probably think about it halfway through. Okay, so that was actually a new project. It's a finished project, but it's a new one that I didn't show you last week. It's one I'm working on. Finished that one. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the other two. because things have changed for my displays. This year we have my daughter living with us, and she has a 1-year-old baby, so we have the grandson here. And I thought that instead of putting everything out on display and having to go, no, don't touch, no, we just kind of downsized. So we got a smaller tree. We got a 4.5-foot tree, and we put it up on top of a table. And then we're going to decorate on top of that table and just kind of not put out as much as I thought. But you know, this kind of stuff displayed out there, he can't hurt these. This is all stuff. It's in a plastic. It's got a plastic ball in it. He can't hurt any of this stuff. So I can put this kind of stuff out and still get some decorations. I just won't put all the fragile stuff out because I think he should enjoy it and not be told no. But I did that with my kids too. It's not fun when you have to sit and babysit them around everything, especially if you have any collectibles or anything of sentimental value you don't want messed up. So we just don't put them out. Okay, so that was 2 finished objects. My next finished objects are the mittens. I told you guys I had 5 sets to do. So I ended up, I'm doing 6 sets because my husband took one of the sets when I first made them and he really enjoyed them. So I do have the sets here. Now the ones that I showed you were knit. Where are they? So these are his. And these were the pattern from, these were the pattern from Wool Needle Hands. Okay. So these are the ones my husband took. And then I made another pair, but they're still walking. So I have that set. But these are taking me a lot longer than I thought they would. With crochet, our needles are larger than what I'm knitting with. So these will take me 4 hours, and then probably 3.5 hours per mitt, okay, versus the ones that I found. So I did find some crochet ones that I'm working on, or that I worked on. So I did 3. I'm going to do 3 knit and 3 crocheted ones. And there's these. These are it. Okay, they're still in the wool, and they got the little gusset here in the thumb. They have a knit look to the top and the bottom, and then around the thumb, and then it almost looked like kind of a knit weave here. So that was one of the pairs. Let me show them to you on, because I do have one that's blocked and finished in the wool. So I did them all in the wool, and again, remember these are for men, so they look a little baggy on me, but I did have my husband try them on, and my son-in-laws and sons have bigger hands. So I think they just turned out so cute. I'll link the pattern. These are actually done flat, so you crochet back and forth. So the edge is a slip stitch in the front and back loops, back and forth, and then you get up into a half double crochet, and then you do your gusset. And then you go back into that slip stitch again around the tops. So that's one of the sets. So that's 3. And then here's another one. I think this is my favorite pair. And remember I told you I was going to knit myself a pair of the ones from the wool needle hands. I'm a little tired, so I'm thinking that may not happen till February if I do it at all. Because I'm really excited about learning the knit, and I learned a lot of new stitches, or a few new stitches when I made these. So I'm really getting excited about learning some new stitches and getting away from knits. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 of my gloves, or 1 my husband took. So I've only got 4 of my gloves done. And then this is how far I am. I'm doing the knit version in this oatmeal. I think it's called oatmeal. An oatmeal tweed. So this colorway is oat tweed. And it's still the fisherman's wool. So remember I was talking about how much yardage there is in these. Those, the brown. So I've gotten this set, this set, this set, and the edgings on this set. And the only amount that I had left was a piece of string this big. I really was playing yarn chicken on the last pair. It was this big, literally. So I won yarn chicken. I don't normally win yarn chicken, so when I do, it's like woo woo, one for the win. So I was super excited about that. So I'm down to one pair of mittens, and I'm done, except for one person. I have one more person left to figure out something to knit or crochet for them. I'm having a really hard time coming up with something because she doesn't have any space. She's got 2 children, and she lives with her mother and father-in-law. So the space is really limited, and I don't want to just make some. I mean, I can make her a hat, easy. Everybody can get a hat, a scarf, all those things. But I want to make something like I have with everybody else, something meaningful that she can use. So I'm kind of having a hard time coming up with hers. Because again, I didn't want to make the kids items that are going to be large and buy a bunch of stuff that's just going to take up space because they just don't have any. So my idea, let me know what you guys think of it, is I know that people use it for scrubbies and cleaning their dishes, but I used to in fact, I think I started making it. Let's see. So it's the Tulle. Now this one's cut, so it's a bigger, but you see how fine that is? So I make the scrubbies, and then when they were in school, I used to have them in the shower. So she has a really dry skin, and so I would make these rounds. She hasn't had them forever. In fact, she's asked me multiple times to make them for her, but she just puts soap on it, and then she can use it as an exfoliator, and it's the really fine mesh. So I was thinking about making maybe 10 or so of these, and then making a little crochet case for them, for her to stack them in. My original pattern used to be double layered, but those always took so long to do. But this is just a single layer. I haven't finished it, as you can see. Just a single layer and very disposable. And these work quite well. She likes them for exfoliating the backs of her arms and her legs. What do you think? So if I made about 10 of those, and then kind of like coaster set, how they have the coasters, and then they make the little case for them to sit in, and do that with that. So I'm thinking that's going to be what she's going to get. So that'll be my last one, and I am just ready to be done. I'm ready to move on, and maybe take a break from the needlework for a little while. I just went in, I don't know if I had mentioned it on here, but I just had knee surgery. So I've been off work for a while, so I returned to work on the 19th, which is this coming Tuesday. So I won't have that much time as I have in the past few weeks to knit and crochet anyways. And so I'm kind of getting excited about being done and taking the rest of the year off and coming up with some new projects. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I do know that I do want to cast on. I want to cast on a sweater. I purchased the Ranunculus. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Oh, and I don't have it in here. But I seen a podcaster talking about it. She had a stack of like 4 of them, and then she showed the yoke of it. It was so cute, so I went and I purchased it. But I'm looking at it, and it's like the ease on it is very like, I want to say 7-8 inches, maybe it was more than that, but it was just huge, very, very roomy, and I think that's going to be too big for me. I'm on the heavier side anyway, so I don't want something that's going to be 3 times bigger than I am for ease. But when I've been watching the videos on them, it seems like when they change up the yarns, the ease is getting less and less. So if anybody knits and they know anything about ease, I have not gotten into it because I've been so busy with Christmas, but that's going to be my the next thing that I'm going to try to tackle, is a sweater. I did kind of look up the pattern a little bit, and it's going to be advanced. It's more advanced than I am, so I might have to take my ideas back and find something that's a little bit more simple to start with and learn some more of those knittings. I have no idea what a German short row is, and it starts with those. So again, it's a super cute yoke. It's super cute. But I'll get to that one of these days. I have already purchased the pattern, so. Let's see, what else do I have? So I showed you what's still on my needle is going to be those two things. I have the one set of gloves and the one, the skin buffer for her arms and legs. The only other thing that I'm working on is some hats. Like I told you, I have an adding machine, so I've come up with a mix between an adding machine and crochet, and it's a hat, and I've seen them on there before. I just been kind of playing around with it in my version of mixing a couple of hats together. So I've got this Addie, I think it's the 46, the Addie 46 knit on the bottom, and then a puff stitch on the top, and it's just one of the ones that are open for bun. So that's one of them, and then I did another one in the solid color. So I'm going to be writing up the recipe for them. If anybody's interested, you can let me know down below, and then I'll try to, and when I get the recipe figured out and I show these to you guys and I have some more, and I'm going to, my hair's short now. In fact, I'm going to go get a haircut, but I used to have long hair, and that's when I started making these. But my hair's short now, so I'm going to close that up and maybe put a pom-pom or just leave it open. But what do you think? I'm going to figure that one out too, that little stitch. Maybe I just have it on backwards. So that's the two of those that I'm working on. I'm going to put out a pattern, and then on my Addie, I've also done this little bag. I was thinking about doing these bags, just cranking out some bags for Christmas gifts so I don't have to use all the wrapping paper. This one's not going to work out as well as I thought it was. It's not sturdy enough, and the yarn is kind of finicky. But, you know, I'm still going to keep him. Just kind of turned him into a little bit of a Santa Claus. He's quite big, actually. I could probably get a lot in there. But I think I'll just leave him like that. I was thinking about putting eyes on, but I'm not gonna. But I thought he was super cute too. He's something that I put out. He's got some sparkly yarn on the top. And that's just for wrapping gifts to go under the tree. I don't have any kind of a recipe done up for this one either. But I could, if anybody wanted it, I could always write it out if anybody's interested. You'd have to tell me down below because I'm not going to take the time to do it if there's no interest in it. So there's that. Something else I was working on, and I think that's it, you guys. I did decide to get back onto my Weight Watchers. If anybody's on the channel interested in following anything on Weight Watchers, I'm going to start posting some recipes, but I'm going to put that in a different playlist so that I can keep my knitting and crochet in one area, and then my Weight Watchers in another. And then I also have a Cricut machine that I'm going to start getting into. I just now got my craft room set up, and so those are things that I'm going to be able to start working on as well. I really wish I would have had the Cricut machine ready to go this year for Christmas presents. It probably would have been a lot faster, but I didn't. But that's okay. So I think that's probably going to be it. If you're interested in the Weight Watchers recipes or any of those kind of things, please let me know in the comments. And then I will make those videos. And then if you're interested in any of the Cricut projects that I do, I can do that as well. And then I'll continue on with my knit and crochet. That's my number one craft. That's what I do, is crochet and make things for people. And let's see, I don't get back into my socks. Those were so exciting. I can't wait to get that other one started. I haven't made any progress on them. It's just, now that I'm down to just those 2 left, I'm kind of thinking maybe I might get a pair done before Christmas. It'll be kind of fun. But like I said, I am going back to work on the 19th. Limited hours for now, to make sure that my knee, I stand 10 hours a day in concrete and walk constantly. So it's going to take a lot for me to get back into work. But yeah, so that's what's going on here at 112th Street. And then I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it so much. I was happy, extremely happy that anybody's interested in watching. So again, please let me know what you're interested in watching and seeing, and I'll be more than happy to put it out there for you. All right, you guys, have a happy, happy holiday. If I don't have anything on here before now and then. And take care. That's pretty much it. All right, you guys. I'll just kind of push this over here again. I just love this little scene. I can't wait until I can put my scene out together with all my other stuff. All right, bye now. Have a great day.